You know that it is sleeping on top, not below, it is in the open air. And you see the sky passing by and my wife saying, "You wretched bum, why did you give up the fenders of success?" I said, "Now I am for Christ with progress." And after persecuting me so much, she got cancer, from her belly button to her thighs. Her gynecological area was completely rotten with cancer. She weighed 49 kilograms and went to 38, rotten with cancer. When there was no way out, the doctor said, "Mottos, she is going to die. Mottos, there is no way out." Quote, she heard that from the antechamber and sat in the car with me. I had already lost all my possessions. I lived on top of there. I only had her car, because nothing of hers was sold, only mine. She sat in the car crying and I drove alone. Have you ever seen someone lock the steering wheel while it was moving? It doesn't lock. Have you ever stopped your car and not taken the key out? Does the steering wheel lock? It doesn't lock. Only when you take the key out. I didn't take the key out and I wanted to turn left where I lived. And the key in the ignition locked the steering wheel to this side. It would open this way, but not that way. And the Lord said to me, "Go ahead." And I was desperate. She's going to die. Listen to this. She's going to die. I'm walking. She's going to die. She's going to die. Lord, she's going to die. I was walking, out of my mind. When I realized it, I was there in Santa Cruz, far from my house, in Rio. And I saw some cattle grazing the Nalores. I looked at those cattle and said, "The Lord is my shepherd." And she kept walking and she was crying. Tears were falling all the time. And looking at that, I turned off the radio on Copacabana radio. And when I was turning on that radio in her car, Nelson Ned was singing this. "And the waters of the sea of life want to drown you. Hold on to God's hand and go. Hold on to God's hand. Hold on to God's hand." She sang this when I looked at her from the side, and when I heard her, I started to cry. I looked at her the same way, as a hand caressing my shoulder. I looked, I didn't see the hand, but I felt that hand caressing me. Look, I didn't. I heard a voice as beautiful as the one that sounded in my ear and said, very softly, with affection, "She won't die. I am the God of life." That hand guided me to a left-hand street that I didn't want to go, full of puddles. I was driving slowly in my car. That same hand led me into a field full of plantations. I went in and when I got to the end, there was a little gate full of bamboo with wires. I went back and said, "But I can't go in here. I have to stop and go back." Quote, when I was going to reverse to go back and get in the car, a man with a mustache shouted at me with a hoe on his shoulder. He said, "Hey, I was going to get in the car." He said, "No, you don't need to worry." Yes, it's more than that. I was weeding behind the house and the Lord told me to come forward. Zier Carlos, go to the front of the house because a couple is going to arrive and this couple is adrift, lost. You're going to pray for the woman. I'm going to take that woman's cancer away right now. I said, "My God, what's happening?" She's there weighing 38 kilograms, skinny as a skull, crying in pain, losing clotted blood day and night and all hope is gone. He said, "I knelt down here. I knelt down with her on the ground and that blood was gushing out." And he said, "Satan, I don't want to know where you came from. I'm telling you in the name of Jesus, get out of this woman now. Get out of her." When he said this, she screamed so horribly that I was scared. What a loud scream. And he started talking about mystery. "But what's happening, brother? Don't worry. I saw a black shadow come out of her. Now the earth opened up. That shadow came down. The earth closed. From that minute until today, more than 25 years, he has never had cancer again." Raise your hand right now.